Hello and thank you for joining us. My name is Stefka Mihailova. I'm faculty at the School of Drama at the University of Washington. And I'm here today with Andrew McGinn, who is directing the School of Drama's upcoming production of Pentecost by British playwright David Edgar. Andy, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
David Edgar, the British playwright who wrote Pentecost, wrote it in the early 90s. When former Yugoslavia was falling apart, the ethnic conflicts that emerged as a result of Yugoslavia falling apart was all over the news. So it was a very topical thing. It was on everybody's mind when audiences in Britain saw it for the first time. Mm-hmm. And now, 20 years later, why did you think it is still relevant? What does the Seattle audience stand to learn from it?
Yes. Well, first and foremost, the country that is represented in the play is a fictional Balkan country in the midst of that struggle. And I think there is always more to learn, not as much about any particular ethnicity from that area, but about the nature of the ethnic conflict that was occurring due to the geographic location of the Balkans. You have people that have been there since pre-Roman times, and then you have many different layers. So the area is either a crossroads or a battlements between the East and West, but also the area has very specific identities within itself that we all could stand to learn from. The area is a melting pot, very much like the United States of America. And considering right now we are having a very increased national dialogue about immigration, whether someone is for immigration or against immigration, they are going to walk into this having reconsidered whatever their values are.
Well, this is also your master's thesis.
Yeah.
And almost all of your actors are also students, whether in the MFA program of the School of Drama or in the BA program. So what kind of learning experiences does such a play provide for you as a director, for your designers, for your actors, all of them students?
Absolutely. Because of the scale of this show, we've done it with 18 actors, but there are like 26 characters. It's the hugest budget for a design that I've ever seen. But also the kind of concentration that doing this play, which is a realistic style, the kind of concentration to detail is extremely educational. In the preparation, educationally, if there ever was a play where you needed to go on every page with a fine-tooth comb in order to create your design, in order to understand the characters, this would be it.
And for those members of our audience who already know your work from The Illusion that you did last year, they know that you don't shy away from difficult plays. But I guess that if the Illusion was backbreaking in certain ways compared to Pentecost, it probably looks like a picnic.
If I had known then what I know now.
Right. So what were the specific staging challenges of design, challenges that actors had to encounter that very rarely come up in other plays?
The design challenges were large because, I think there's probably nothing more difficult in terms of getting the details right than realism. And this is being done with real gritty realism. So people will see that set designer Jen Sipala has done a magnificent job. The church, the set that she designed makes the in this conflicted area, I feel makes the Jones a bit ashamed of itself for being so comfy and being so privileged. While we want our audience to be comfortable so they can pay attention, though, there's a real ability to make us feel that we have been dropped down into this area. A huge amount of research and a core value for authenticity pervades everything we did. We have people, there is a large number of refugees that show up in the show, refugees from as far away as Afghanistan and Kuwait who find themselves here on their way to Europe. the costume designer had a huge challenge to represent those cultures and the circumstances. Right. Michaela said something brilliant. Michaela Petrovich, the costume designer, the first day that we met, she said, if this turns into the look of a cultural show, we've failed. Mm-hmm. Because it's not a cultural show. It's our best attempt at having compassion and putting on display people in realistic circumstances. So the attention to detail is very, 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 very important for this play.
And well, we know, of course, that theater is a communal effort always. It's a team art. However, not in every play you use the same kind of specialists. And what were the kind of particular kinds of specialists that had to contribute to this process that you do not normally use as often?
Yeah. One person I would highlight is Gino Jedvedic, who is the front man for Culture Shock and who is writing original music for this show. Wow. Being able to talk to someone who survived the siege of Sarajevo and was creating theater in it gave me a whole new sense of how important my job was, mm-hmm. How important it was to, if not accurately portray, because we have people from Iowa playing someone from Afghanistan, but to compassionately portray, and with as much attention to detail for the language and respect for the language as our designers put into their work. Authenticity is the core value of this production.
Andy, thank you so much for this conversation. Once again, Pentecost by David Edgar opens for previews on February 20th, Wednesday at 7:30 at the Jones Playhouse. And it premieres on the 22nd, Friday at 7:30. You can purchase tickets on the School of Drama's website, drama.washington.edu, and we look forward to seeing you there.